A local sheriff says Alabama lawmakers are putting budget concerns ahead of public safety. Your local news starts now.
This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by Waldrop Manufacturing, metal buildings made right here in Calhoun County.
Welcome to East Alabama Now Local News for Friday, February 10th, 2023. I'm Mike Stedham. Calhoun County Sheriff Matthew Wade says the mass prisoner release that started a few weeks ago to relieve overcrowding in state prisons has already put dangerous criminals back on the street without proper notification to local law enforcement officials. Alabama has started releasing the first group of about 400 prisoners, leaving them at bus stops and other locations with little more than clothes on their back and tracking devices on their ankles. Wade says he's already had problems with at least 2 of the dozen felons that have been returned to Calhoun County.
The first batch, the very first one that was coming back to Calhoun County, I looked, robbery first degree. Why are we letting somebody with a Class A felony, the same as murder, out early? The person that I sent the letter on, we saw that in that list, this person had warrants through us. We wanted him back at our facility. We saw in our records that we had told Department of Corrections that we wanted him if he was released. We contacted them before his release and double-checked that they had our detainer, our warrants. They confirmed they did. Instead of calling us to come get him, they released him. So it took us several days to get him back in our facility. And during those several days, time frame, when we got him to our jail, we drug screened him and he was positive for cocaine and methamphetamines.
Sheriff Wade says he knows that most of these convicts would eventually be released after serving their sentences, but he says these early releases are bound to put more stress on local law enforcement agencies.
Now, I hope and pray that these people become productive citizens. I really do. I hope they all become productive citizens. That's one less burden. Their lives are better. Our lives are better. But my 27 years of law enforcement experience has told me that's not going to be the case in the majority of these people. And with that said, they're letting them out of prison, so there are going to be other victims. Our public safety is going to be at risk. There's going to be victims of more crimes. And when these people either commit more crimes or they violate their probation or parole, they're going to come to the local county jail where they'll sit for probably 2 years before they get put back in the prison system.
Wade says the root of the problem is a federal lawsuit claiming that Alabama prisons are overcrowded. Instead of building more cells to relieve the burden, the state legislature has decided to reduce the number of inmates, and that has led to these recent releases.
While Alabamians do not necessarily want to spend money on jails, they definitely don't want criminals running the streets, putting their public safety at risk, whether it be their children, them, their homes, their property. So a judge somewhere has sentenced these people to prison and gave them their sentence. And we're going to let them out all in the sake of money, a federal lawsuit. I'm not sure why. If it's money, we've said we have a $2 billion surplus.
Next week, we'll tell you about an escaped state prisoner who ended up in the Calhoun County Jail last year, building up good time that shortened his sentence. Within a few weeks of his release, he had killed a deputy in Chilton County and wounded another. When we return, Anniston officials have been told they need to cut down some trees in the median of Quintard Avenue.
For metal buildings in Alabama and the Southeast, Waldrop Manufacturing is your one-stop source. A Waldrop metal building provides the coverage and protection your investments need. They specialize in carports, RV covers, portable buildings, and storage buildings. Stop paying rent for storage. With Waldrop's price per foot, you can actually save money by buying straight from the manufacturer. Waldrop buildings are guaranteed because Waldrop manufactures buildings with U.S. steel right here in Calhoun County. Waldrop Manufacturing, serving the entire Southeast. Give them a call today. This segment of EAN Local News is brought to you by WM Grocery, located in Heflin, Wadowee, Roanoke, and in Piedmont.
For as long as there's been a Quintard Avenue in Anniston, there have been trees down the middle of it. This week, the Anniston City Council learned that 5 of those trees are dead and must be cut down because they would pose a hazard if they fell down. Officials with the Alabama Department of Transportation told the city about the problem, and city spokesman Jackson Hodges says the council is making plans to remove those trees in about 2 weeks.
What is most important here, though, is that no tree is worth one life. And for the example, the tree near 1024 Quintard has a hollow trunk. A heavy storm or issue like that could cause it to fall, and an oak that large would cause very, very large damage if it were to fall on someone's vehicle, fall on somebody walking in that area. So the week of February 20th, we plan to have our crews out there. We will be working with the Alabama Department of Transportation to remove the trees. There will be street closures, and this will take about 2 days, around 8 a.m. each day. So be looking for specific details on that next week.
Hodges says the trees are about 150 years old, and that's the normal lifespan of that type of pin oak. And these trees have had the added stress of being in an urban area that is heavily traveled.
We met with the Alabama Department of Transportation already this morning, our public works staff, our Parks and Recreation Department staff. I was there. We all met to go ahead and begin the replacement plan, because that is what is key, is replacing these trees, making sure that we do it in a respectful way to the history and the meaning and the beauty of these trees there on Quintard, because they do mean a great deal to everyone, myself included, in this city. So we will make sure we do right by it. We'll put a beautiful plan in place, put that before the council, and have their approval over it. But we are taking the matter with the utmost seriousness. The week of the 20th, we'll be out there doing the removal, and we are working on the replacement plan as we speak, and they all will be replaced with something beautiful and grand as well that hopefully my children's children will get to see one day.
A routine traffic stop on I-20 early Friday morning by Cleburne County Sheriff's deputies led to the arrest of a suspected fugitive from Georgia and the confiscation of illegal drugs. Chief Deputy Patrick Nolan says 42-year-old Matthew Scott Brock was charged with trafficking methamphetamines, unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia, and being a fugitive from justice. Bobby Timothy Braggs, 49, was charged with trafficking methamphetamines and unlawful possession of drug paraphernalia. Both men were taken to the Cleburne County Jail, where their bond was set at $23,000 each. When we come back, our friends at 97.9 VOK will have all the latest entertainment news.
Since 1993, WM Grocery has been a major part of our local community. WM offers the very best in fresh produce and an outstanding meat department. WM also has many local products not found anywhere else and fresh sushi every day. If you need an event catered, come see Mrs. K at any WM store. Curbside pickup is also available for your online grocery orders. Be sure to download the WM app for all the deals of the week and shopper rewards. Go check them out today at any of their locations.
We take pride in our community and appreciate your business.
I'm Steve Stevens from the Big Steve Morning Show on 97.9 VOK. Now let's crawl through the mud and the muck of Hollywood for this week's entertainment news on East Alabama Now. Hey, big news, Tim Allen's going to return as Buzz Lightyear in Toy Story 5. He says, quote, "See you soon, Woody. You are a strange little man. You have my pity." Ironically, my bathroom skills, I call them Buzz Lightyear. When I step on them, they go to infinity and beyond. Was Ben miserable? Even though it looked like Ben Affleck was having a terrible time at the Grammys, Jennifer Lopez posted some video clips and said, quote, "Always the best time with my love, my husband." Meanwhile, Ben was like, yeah, whatever she said. And finally, Austin Butler says that he's slowly shedding his Elvis accent. Now the big question, when does Miley Cyrus stop sounding like Batman? That's my time. Join me each weekday for the Big Steve Morning Show, 6 till 9 on 97.9 VOK. Love you, mean it. See ya.
This weekend will feel like the middle of February with cold temperatures and lots of rain. Lows should reach the upper 30s by Sunday morning, and it would be a good idea to keep those umbrellas handy all weekend. A warming trend is forecast to start early next week, just in time for Valentine's Day on Tuesday. With these winter temperatures returning this weekend, the city of Anniston has decided to open its warming station at the bridge from Friday night through Monday morning. Thank you for watching East Alabama Now Local News. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday evening bringing you the latest local news from around Calhoun and Cleburne counties. We've also made a new Facebook group called Local News Engagement. If you want to stay in the know about all things local, please go join us. We'd love to have you. And as always, be sure to like us and share us with all your friends on social media. We'll see you again Monday for your news on your schedule.